just when it seemed like Lando Norris had one hand on the 2025 Formula One Drivers' Championship. A post-race technical infringement measured in fractions of a millimeter has completely upended the season. Hours after the checkered flag fell at a dramatic Las Vegas Grand Prix, both McLaren cars were disqualified, erasing their results and blowing the title fight wide open. What was a comfortable 42-point lead for Norris has been slashed to just 24, with his teammate Oscar Pastri and reigning champion Max Verstappen now tied for second place. This is the story of how a tiny piece of wood and a rulebook threw the end of the F1 season into chaos. The race itself was a tense affair. Max Verstappen took the victory, but Lando Norris, starting from pole, drove a calculated race to finish second, seemingly doing enough to manage his championship advantage. His teammate Oscar Pastri came home fourth. For McLaren, it looked like a solid, if not spectacular, points haul that kept their championship aspirations firmly on track. But as the teams packed up and the Las Vegas Strip began to quiet down, the stewards dropped a bombshell. Both the NAM4 car of Norris and the UP81 of Pastri were under investigation. The issue centered on one of the most critical yet least talked about parts of an F1 car, the plank. This is a wooden board, officially called a skid block, that runs along the underside of the chassis. Its purpose is to control the car's ride height and prevent teams from running their cars so low to the ground that they generate an excessive and potentially dangerous amount of aerodynamic grip. To ensure compliance, the rules, specifically Article 3, 5, 9 of the technical regulations, mandate that this plank must be at least 9 million thick at the end of a race. When the FIA's technical delegates inspected the McLarens, they found that the rearmost part of the plank on both cars was too thin. The measurements were astonishingly small. McLaren's championship hopes were undone by a margin thinner than a single strand of hair. In Formula One, however, a rule is a rule. There is no tolerance for technical infringements, and the penalty is absolute disqualification. McLaren was summoned to the stewards to explain themselves. They argued that there were mitigating factors. Team principal Andrea Steller explained that both cars had suffered from unexpected high levels of porpoising during the race, a violent bouncing that they hadn't encountered in the practice sessions. This, combined with what the team called accidental damage sustained during the race, caused the floor to move more than expected, leading to the excessive wear. They also pointed to the disrupted practice schedule caused by the loose drain cover, which limited their ability to fine-tune the car's setup for the unique demands of the Las Vegas circuit. While the stewards and the FIA acknowledged that they believed the breach was unintentional and not a deliberate attempt to circumvent the regulations, their hands were tied. Precedent and the letter of the law are clear. The argument was dismissed and the disqualification was confirmed. Norris and Pastri were stripped of their second and fourth place finishes. The consequences are seismic. The original 18 points for Norris and 12 for Pastri vanished. The revised race results promoted Mercedes's George Russell to a brilliant second place. It was a massive result for Mercedes in their fight with Ferrari in the constructors' standings. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz moved up to fourth and fifth respectively, but the biggest winner of all was Max Verstappen. His victory was already a statement of intent, but with Norris's points erased, Verstappen is now right back in the championship hunt. The 42-point gap was cut to just 24. He is now tied with Oscar Pastri on 366 points, with Norris just ahead on 390. With 2 race weekends left, the Qatar Grand Prix with its sprint race and the finale in Abu Dhabi, a total of 58 points are still on the table. The championship is no longer a foregone conclusion. It's a 3-horse race. Verstappen, with his relentless form, could theoretically take the championship lead in Qatar. For Pastri, it's a chance to achieve the unthinkable. For Norris, the dream that seemed so close is now in danger of slipping away. In their official statements, the McLaren drivers were diplomatic but clearly devastated. "It's frustrating to lose so many points," Norris said. "As a team, we're always pushing to find as much performance as we can. and we clearly didn't get that balance right today." Pastri added, "With how close the grid is, we're always looking at where we can gain performance, and we didn't get it right this time. For a team that has been the benchmark for performance all year, this was a public and painful admission of a critical error." This incident is a stark reminder of the fine margins in Formula One. It also highlights the inherent risks of street circuits where bumpy surfaces can wreak havoc on car setups and lead to unexpected issues like the porpoising McLaren experienced. It's not the first time this has happened in 2025. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Hülkenberg have also been disqualified for the same infringement earlier in the season, proving that every team is vulnerable. The fallout from this decision will dominate the build-up to the final two races. The pressure on McLaren is now immense. They have the fastest car, but they have no more room for error. For Red Bull and Verstappen, it's an unexpected lifeline, a golden opportunity to snatch a fifth consecutive title from the jaws of defeat. The 2025 season was already delivering plenty of drama, but this disqualification has guaranteed a blockbuster finish. The battle for the championship is going down to the wire. The psychological dimension of this title fight has also shifted dramatically. Norris, who has been the calm and composed front-runner, now faces the immense pressure of having his lead slashed. Verstappen, on the other hand, is a master of high-pressure situations and will be relentless in his pursuit, and Pastri has nothing to lose and everything to gain. The dynamic between the three drivers in the final two races will be fascinating to watch. The Constructors' Championship has also been blown wide open. McLaren's loss of 30 points has allowed Mercedes and Ferrari to close the gap, and the battle for second place will be just as intense as the drivers' title fight. Every point will count in the final two races, and the teams will be pushing their cars and drivers to the absolute limit. This is what Formula One is all about: high stakes, high drama, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. The 2025 season will be remembered for many things, but this post-race drama in Las Vegas will surely be one of its defining moments. The Qatar Grand Prix, with its sprint race format, offers 33 points across the weekend. If Verstappen were to dominate and win both the sprint and the main race with the fastest lap, he could score the maximum 33 points. If Norris has a difficult weekend and scores minimal points, Verstappen could leave Qatar with the championship lead. The same applies to Pastri, who is now in an incredible position to fight for the title. The pressure is now firmly on McLaren to deliver two perfect weekends. They have the fastest car, but they can't afford any more mistakes, either on the track or in the garage. For Red Bull and Verstappen, this is an unexpected gift. They have been the hunters for most of the season, and now they have a real chance to become the hunted. The championship battle has been reignited, and the stage is set for a spectacular conclusion to the 2025 season. What do you make of this incredible turn of events? Was the disqualification the right call, or should the stewards have shown more leniency? And with the championship now a three-way fight, who is your money on to take the crown? Share your predictions in the comments section.